I mean, it was a little bit of a cluster, you know what?
Sean Payton, why are you insulting the show? You haven't even listened to it. Well, you got a crystal ball. You're like, oh, looking back on it, it's going to be a, cluster, you know what? You're saying clusterfuck. We all know it, okay? It's just hurtful. Our relationship's tainted now. It is. It is. Anyway, guys, we got a great sports section coming your way, despite what Sean Payton says, okay? My goodness. He likes to hurt my feelings. He does. Sean, what did you want to say?
Gosh, your own little internet shows are driving me crazy.
Okay, I get it, Sean. Take the knife out of my back. Anyway, guys, like I said, we got a great sports section coming your way. I'll tell you about that in a second. But if I seem a little out of it, it's because I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately, and I blame RFK Jr. and his trusty pocket knife not hanging out in my backyard. I said not hanging out in my backyard because we got some fucking raccoons in the neighborhood waking up not just my dogs, but the entire neighborhood dogs. I get my dogs in, tell them to shut their holes, right? And they're like, sorry, Dad, man, I'm trying to protect the house. Next thing you know, all I hear is like 2 or 3 other dogs in the neighborhood just going bananas, because what I assume is raccoons swinging their coon dong, because what we found out is apparently they got a bony dong, and it's pissing off all the dogs. It's just so freaking annoying. Oh, wait, we talked about coon dong. Hold on, I got to get a pen. Oh, one of these days my wife's going to come downstairs and she's like, what's this note for that says coon dong? What's that mean? Is that a band? Scott? I'll be like, nope. That's just an ongoing topic. Okay. What's it have to do with raccoons and their bony penises, honey? I love you. You married this. Anyway, guys, got a great show coming your way. Not going to talk about raccoon dick anymore. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid admitted to something impressive and disgusting, all wrapped up into one. And I don't know which side I should be leaning on. I don't. Dana White gives a shocking update on Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, is he going to fight or not? We're going to find out about that. A Chicago Cubs player, is out with an injury thanks to his damn kids. Been there, done that, buddy. Gabrial Landeskog and the Avalanche are human. They bled, but can they bounce back and beat up the Wild? Russel Wilson thinks he has a future in TV broadcasting. I'm going to burst the bubble. Let's be honest. Why? Just roll that around in your head till we get to the topic. The latest with the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton, who likes to stab me in the back with his hurtful words, allegedly, talks Bo Nix's injury status. Marvin Mims is locked on the Super Bowl, and rookie running back Jonah Coleman is very impressive. He's checking all the boxes for me as a fan, and he hasn't even taken a snap yet, not even in preseason. And then coming up next, have the refs and the NFL figured their shit out. That's coming up. Don't forget to subscribe to the show wherever you're consuming this, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. And if you can, especially on Spotify and some of the other podcast platforms, you can enable auto download. So if you're going on a road trip, whether it's for work or family, go ahead, enable the auto download or just download the episodes. And what will happen is it takes up very little data on your device, and you can listen without any interruption, which is really cool. So you're going through the Eisenhower Tunnel, something like that. No problem. No problem. You're in the middle of the Sahara Desert. I don't know if you're going there, but why not? It's a road trip. You can listen. It would be great. Anyway, guys, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's jump into the sports section.
He's walked the hallowed grounds of Folsom Field, Coors Field, and Mile High Stadium.
He runs with the 50. He runs with the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's time for sports with DeHuff.
Well, like I was saying, the NFL and the NFL referees actually did reach an agreement. The NFL Referees Association signed a 7-year collective bargaining agreement that will run through 2032. That way we don't have the freaking even shittier referees. Even shittier. You think the refs are bad now. Imagine if you get some random dudes that are like, I don't know, I kind of refereed in high school or whatever. I've been fucking around with reffing. Yeah, I'll be an ad. And part of me is just like, I wouldn't blame them. Now, it's good that we don't have those people coming in, right? But if it would have come to that point, it would be hard to blame somebody for not taking that job, not crossing the picket line and being a scab referee. It would be very hard to go, ooh, that's a good opportunity. Now, I don't believe it happens very often if you cross a picket line and you are called a scab when you do so. Um, but it doesn't happen very often where you get hired once the agreement is settled. Usually it's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. You're a temporary job. I when my first job back in 1996, I worked for Safeway. We went on a grocery worker strike. It sucked. I was only there for like 2 months ish, and we were on strike. And the people that crossed the picket line, whether you were a customer or a scab worker, man, people hated you. Yeah, you don't cross the picket line. But it would be really hard not to if you had that intelligence to be a NFL referee. I mean, come on, that would be really difficult because that's a great opportunity. You might never get that opportunity again. So I'm glad that agreement has been figured out. But man, some of you out there that could have had the opportunity to be a NFL scab referee, I mean, that would have been kind of cool for you. Kind of cool. But I don't agree with it, but it'd be kind of cool. Speaking of the NFL is going to release their schedules this Thursday. But imagine this. They're going to get leaked out the day before, the night before. They will. We'll do a sports section for Thursday. And there's a really good chance that we'll know the official schedule for everybody's team already going into it. And probably the coolest thing with it is you get the teams that put in some effort on what their schedule is and they post videos about it. Like they have fun with it. I don't mind that. Although the Denver Broncos videos have sucked the past couple of years. They have. Anybody that says otherwise either works for the team or is trying to just suck the team off. I'm sorry. Is that too filled with truth? Because the truth that I just pumped out there is dripping all down your face. Okay, it is. Imagine that. You're welcome. You're welcome. But some of the teams do a great freaking job. They'll have like video game themes and whatnot. I like that. But here's what's funny about the schedule release shows and, making a big to-do about it. We already know who their opponents on the road are, who their opponents on or at home are. We do. We know that for the next few seasons. It's not a shocker. We just really are looking at when's your bye week and what's the order. And it's not really shocking to be like, oh shit, we're playing this team this year. We already know. We do. So it is kind of a weird thing that we as fans get all excited about. You're like, oh shit, the schedule's out. Ooh, what's it going to be? We already know what it is. The big thing is where's the bye week? Because you don't want too early of a bye week. You don't want too late of a bye week. There's a sweet spot in there. So, I mean, like if you get a bye week around, say week 10, 11, I think that's a pretty good bye week. So we'll see what happens, whether it's the Broncos or whatever team, whoever you follow. And then what happens is that day, that Thursday, every show is going to go, well, here's my prediction based off of the schedule. This is, what I predict their record to be. So it's interesting, but it always leaks the day before. So we'll see how it goes. But, I'm guilty just as much as anybody. I'm a football fan. American football. None of this European nonsense, okay? Where you're kicking a ball with your little feet, okay? No. Don't like it. Don't like it one goddamn bit. The Denver Broncos, speaking of them, and GM George Payton have agreed on a new 5-year contract that runs through 2030. Payton was going into the final year of his contract with the team. So that's good news. I know a lot of people are still mad about past draft classes and whatnot. I think what is going on right now, the continuity with him and Sean Payton is a good thing. We don't always see what's going on behind the scenes. I feel like that's a great move. That's a great move, extending, George Payton till 2030. Time will tell, but when you listen to Sean Payton, he can't say enough good things about his relationship with George Payton. And that's what you want. You want them to enjoy working with each other. You want them to complement each other. So I think that's good. Now, speaking of Sean Payton, he had a press conference during minicamp the other day. He obviously had to address. Nobody even asked him. He's just like, okay, let's just go ahead and talk about this nonsense. Essentially, he didn't say that. He's like, let's get this shit out of the way. Bo Nix.
We feel real good about where he's at. And you guys will have a chance to see it, here in a few weeks. But clearly, full speed by training camp. We just want to be smart relative to holding him back a little.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's what I want to hear. They're not going to rush him out. We were talking about that the other day with Patrick Mahomes. Seems like almost like they're rushing him out because they had such a shit season. If you rush a guy back too quickly from injury, they start feeling good, then they do something, and then it tweaks, and then they get set back. Take your time. He says full go by training camp. Listen, if he's not 100% by week 1 of training camp, I'm fine with that. Just go slow. Take it easy. Come on. Okay, just do a slow roll. Stay in first or second gear. Don't be hammering it out to fourth gear, okay? I don't want to see that. Rookie running back Jonah Coleman is checking a lot of boxes for me. I'm cutting up the press conference. Well, it wasn't even really a press conference. It was a media scrum in front of his locker the other day after rookie mini camp, and he's talking about a DMAC actually of Altitude 92.5 asked him and was like, well, why is it important for you to shake everybody's hand? I'm going to combine the answers of these two questions, which, by the way, I remember covering Broncos training camp, and Orlando Franklin was a rookie, and he came out there and he comes up to me. I'm sitting on it's during camp, and I'm sending an email to my boss about something, and he comes over there, big giant motherfucker, and he sticks out his hand and he's like, hello, I'm Orlando Franklin. It's nice to meet you. I'm like, oh my God, that was cool. It was cool. It's hard not to respect somebody that does that. Then oddly enough, fast forward, like, I don't know how many years, 10 years or so, then he and I are working together. So those little things like that stand out. So I'm gonna combine these two responses: him talking about why he shakes everybody's hand, then how he'll make an impact as a rookie.
It's just a respect thing. That's what that's how I grew up and how my dad raised me. First thing he talked to me about was respect. So just showing respect to everybody and treat everybody the same is what I'm about. I mean, just having a growth mindset. Yeah, I did a lot of pass pro in college, but I'm not in college no more. I'm in the NFL. So a lot of guys who've been playing football a long time. So, like I said, just being able to take coaching and tweak the details that I need to work on is what it's all about, So, like I said, being a sponge and taking in information and having that growth mindset, I can be better at anything.
Hey, young players out there, don't care what sport it is. He's being a sponge. Doesn't matter what he's accomplished. It's about what he wants to accomplish moving forward. That is great. Growth mindset. Maybe you're not in sports. That's what kind of mindset you need to have in business too. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you want to be successful, you have to humble yourself and be like, yes, I have accomplished other things, but I'm somewhere different, and I need to sit back and be a sponge. I love hearing him say that. I posted that on my Facebook page. I know a lot of people were posting other things when it came to Jonah Coleman, but I heard that and I'm like, I got to put those two together because this is the guy they drafted. Not only was he a badass at Washington as far as a running back goes, but the dude has amazing character. And that's somebody I want representing the team that I, support. So you hear that as a Bronco fan, does that get you excited? As a sports fan in general, or maybe you're a manager or a business owner, you hear something like that. Is that not the words that you want to hear coming out of your player's mouth or your employee's mouth? That's awesome. Way to go. Now, got to execute. And he knows that, obviously. But it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to do it. So go ahead. I have no doubts in him at all. The only thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way. He's talking to everybody, and he has one of those grills in his mouth where it's all diamonds. Be like, well, apparently somebody doesn't know about money management. That's the first thing I thought of. Like, well, somebody needs to pull him aside and be like, was that a good investment? Putting diamonds on a retainer essentially for your mouth. Are you happy with that purchase? Are you? Because what happens if you're walking around and all of a sudden you choke on a diamond? Probably not a good life decision. Financially, bad idea. Anyway, I'm excited for Jonah Coleman. I'm a little concerned about his financial awareness. But anyway, Marvin Mims was talking to Parker Gabriel of the Denver Post. Parker Gabriel does a great job for the Denver Post. And Mims, this is the only thing I pull out of it. He's all, we're all expecting a Super Bowl this year. That's the mindset I want. Is it saying, I guarantee we're going to win a Super Bowl, or we're guaranteeing that we're going to make the Super Bowl? No. He's telling everybody what the expectations are. And that's what should be coming out of every player in the NFL. I'm expecting us to go to the Super Bowl. If you're not expecting that, what the fuck are you doing? I don't care how bad you've been kicked in the teeth mid-season. You should always be going, well, we can regroup, pull up our bootstraps, tighten our belts, and go out there and stay focused on the objective. So I like that Marvin Mims is coming out saying this. I don't think it was overly cocky. I think the way he worded it, we're all expecting a Super Bowl this year. I'm perfectly fine with that. It's not like we're all expecting to win the division. Okay, that's fine. But, I'd rather somebody say we're expecting to make the Super Bowl. That's our expectations. There's, again, nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing as a sales rep going, I'm expecting to surpass my sales goals this year. Good. That's how you do it. You don't go, maybe I'll break even. I don't know. That's not the way to go. Hey guys, maybe we'll win 5 games. I don't know. Maybe. Let's go. Our goal be above 500. No. We'll get into the Rockies here in a second. So I that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. And sure, if you're a Chiefs fan, a Chargers fan, Raiders fan, you're going, well, keep on expecting that because they ain't going to happen type of thing. That's fine. That's fine. But he's not saying that everybody else is trash. He's just saying this is what our expectations are. I like it. Good things coming out of the Denver Broncos facilities right now. And it's got to be very exciting. You got Bo Nix trending to a speedy recovery. You got Jonah Coleman saying all the right things. And you got Marvin Mims saying, yeah, we expect to be in the Super Bowl. That's our goal. I like it. I like it. Giants head coach John Harbaugh said that he's talked to Odell Beckham Jr. 3 or 4 times over the past week about reuniting with the New York Giants, but he's going to have to play it out over the next month and into training camp before making a decision. John, let me say this. Don't do it. Don't do it. I only see just negativity. It's going to be a lot of noise added to that locker room. And it just seems like that's a bad idea. Don't like it. You already got Jackson Dart, who I think is doing a good job. He needs to focus on being a quarterback. But then you got Scattaboo, who just says dumb shit and likes to smash his head into things. Scattaboo angry. He's like Hulk, but just not as smart. So I just feel like that's a bad idea. That's a bad ingredient. That's like adding a pile. It's like you got this nice stew going on, right? The New York Giants have this beautiful stew, beautiful aroma. John Harbaugh, the chef, is going, one more ingredient. Do I put one in there or not? Stay with what we got. Oh, OBJ. The sous chef is going, I don't know. And he grabs it and drops it in. Basically, OBJ, giant turd that you just dropped into that stew. Don't do it, Giants. Don't do it. Stick with what you got. Yes, he's a big name. Just an unnecessary addition. He's not going to improve your team. He's not. Speaking of the Giants, former backup quarterback for the New York Giants, Mr. Unlimited. I don't even want to play the soundbite because it fucking pisses me off. Russel Wilson confirms he's received an offer from at least one team, but is also considering a TV career. Here's the thing, Russ. Be with your family. Come on, man. It just end before it gets even worse. You haven't been playing that great. I mean, you got some gas in the tank, but it's literally fumes. And when you're talking about a TV career, I just don't see you having the right personality, Russell Wilson, to be successful as a TV broadcaster in any sense. You have the intelligence. I think you have a good, clean voice. But your personality fucking rubs everybody the wrong way. And I just don't know. I feel like him saying that is him trying to put out some feelers. And I'm sure somebody would sign him. I just don't see him being successful as a broadcaster, whether it's play-by-play, or it wouldn't be play-by-play, it'd be color commentary, or even a studio analyst. He's not going to be good at it because he just pisses people off. Not to the point where you would be hate watching him, to the point where you would just boycott the channel. You would have a few people tune in, probably a decent amount of people tune in just to see what he does the first time. And then after that, you're like, fuck, I can't stand that guy. I hate to say that, but that's the way I see it, guys. Come on. The Colorado Avalanche lost Game 3 against the Minnesota Wild. You kind of saw that one coming. And I don't think it's something to panic about. The same two teams go at it tonight in Game 4 in Minneapolis. The Colorado Avalanche have to come out guns a-blazing and just knock the shit out of the Minnesota Wild. Because they look sloppy. They pulled Wedgwood after giving up, I want to say, 3 goals. So you could just see, Bednar said it seemed like he was overplaying the puck. Here's the thing. if there's any team that can get punched in the face, take a step back and regroup and go out there and beat the shit out of everybody, it's the Colorado Avalanche. What I expect is the Colorado Avalanche to come out in Game 4 and in Game 5 and just seal the deal. Because that's the makeup they seem to have. If they come out in Game 4, lay an egg, my confidence is going to go from 95% that they're going to go out there to win it all, to it's going to drop to about, say, 35%, where my confidence is essentially shot. Don't go out there, Colorado Avalanche, and play like the Denver Nuggets and shit yourself when you got this perfect chip that has been placed on your shoulder. Don't go be like the Denver Nuggets. Go out there, beat Colorado Avalanche, and just swarm them and destroy them. That's what you got to be. Now, speaking of the Colorado Avalanche, here's the captain, Gabe Landeskog, talking in the locker room after the loss.
I don't know if it was details or if it was just a little bit extra jump from their guys. So, yeah, it's just you have a short memory, learn from it, move on, come back stronger in Game 4.
Yeah, their defensive details were just not there, but that's okay. Go out there, beat the shit out of them. This team has a lot of talent to the point where there's other teams going, oh, fuck, man. Looking at the comments on social media after Game 2, Minnesota Wild fans are like, holy crap. I don't know if this is going to be a sweep or a gentleman's sweep, but that is one hell of a team that the Wild's playing right now. The Colorado Avalanche are legit. And sometimes you got to get popped in the nose in order to realize this is a legit fight and we need to tighten our shit up. All I expect is when the Avalanche lace up, hit the ice against the Wild.
At my signal, unleash hell.
They're going to unleash hell in the form of an avalanche. And I expect them to win in 5 games. There's like Carolina fans are like, oh, man, the Avalanche, they didn't sweep. We're so much better than them. Oh, come on. Stop it. We're focused on this series as fans and those players, Colorado Avalanche players. I think the Avalanche fan base still has high belief in that team. And they're going to go out there and this is what's going to happen with the Colorado Avalanche against the Minnesota Wild. They're going to put on their skates, go out there, and they're going to punch the Minnesota Wild in the dick, and they're going to take home a victory in Game 4, and then they're going to go do the same thing on Game 5 at Ball Arena and go ahead and punch the Wild in the dick again, and then move on to the next round. Take it to the bank. You're welcome. There's a lot of dick punching courtesy of the Colorado Avalanche. I'm not concerned. What should concern you is Cubs pitcher Matthew Boyd suffered a left meniscus injury while sitting down to play with his kids. He's going to undergo surgery and is expected to return in 4 to 6 weeks. Fucking kids, man. I tell you what. That happened to me. Not the meniscus. Well, maybe that's how I tore mine. But I broke my wrist and I broke a rib while trying to keep up with my kids. And it's an ongoing joke when I go see my doctor. He's like, "Oh, did your kids hurt you again?" No. Well, maybe. I don't know. So, yeah, that sucks. It sucks because the meniscus thing, I get it. I can sympathize. I tried to get up, by the way. I tried to go and buy a good knee brace for that because I'm looking it up and it's like, oh, this is good for meniscus tears and all these other tears. It'll help support your knee so it won't be as bad and you can still stay active. I go and buy one and it's supposed to be like this really good one, still fucking hurts. I'm like, it did jack shit. Jack shit. Fucking annoying. Anyway. The Colorado Rockies, I have to give an update on them. I haven't talked about them in a bit, mostly because they've kind of puttered out. They are roughly a quarter of the way through the season, and they're trending towards winning about 62 to 64 games. That's not that good, guys. That's not good. So my prediction of them being a contender for the playoffs, not looking very good. Not looking very good right now. But if you were to go to Vegas or wherever and put money on it, you might actually get a good deal. Because if they bounce back, start stringing together some fucking wins, like I predicted, hey, you get some nice change coming your way. I don't know. Rockies, come on. Maybe what you need to do, Rockies, is have me throw out a first pitch, and that will juice everybody up. And they're like, let's not just do this for ourselves. This is the Rockies talking to each other in the dugout. Let's not do this for ourselves. Let's not do it for the fan bases. Let's not even do it for our family. Let's go out there and do this for DeHuff. Otherwise, he's going to look like a big-time moron saying that we were going to be, tickling the playoffs. Yeah, do it for me, Rockies. And then, me throwing out the first pitch, it's just like, yeah, this makes sense now. Makes sense. Dana White was on with Jim Rome, who, to be honest, this sounds like a dick thing to say, but I totally forgot Jim Rome still had a show. Sounds like a complete dig, backhanded thing to say to Jim Rome. Be like, oh shit, he's still on the air. Oh, all right. I just don't know. I just stopped listening to him for so long. But anyway, sorry, Jim. I met Jim once. He's a nice dude. Nice dude. Dana White was talking with Jim Rome, and this obviously, who's the biggest name in UFC? Well, it's Conor McGregor.
Is Conor fought his last fight? Is Conor?
No,
do you think about Conor?
We're in a good place. We're in a great place with Conor.
Okay.
I'm extremely confident that Conor will fight this year. I'm extremely confident that we'll get him dialed in and ready to roll. He's training. There's footage out there of him in training right now. He'll fight this summer. Let me just start there. He'll fight this summer. He seems motivated. He's training. And there are a lot of other great things going on behind the scenes that make me very confident that he will fight this summer.
Oh, that's right. I'll be out there fighting, putting up my dukes there. Well, so I say, fuck you to anybody who's going to come at me. I'm Conor McGregor. That's my Conor McGregor. You're welcome. Dana White and the UFC need Conor McGregor to come back. They do. But they also need to be looking for that next Conor McGregor, because it doesn't seem like they really have one. Conor McGregor, whether you love him or hate him, he was great for the UFC. He still is great for the UFC. Now, that being said, he's getting up there in fighter in the fighter realm. So as far as age goes, so he probably has one or two fights left in him. But those fights are going to generate so much attention, and attention equals a good payout for UFC as well as Conor McGregor and whoever he's fighting. Justin Gaethje, he's going to be fighting at the White House. If he wins that, maybe he fights McGregor. I know he's been wanting that fight for a while because Gaethje, Colorado guy, deserves a big, fat paycheck. He does. So we'll see what happens. But I don't see the next Conor McGregor at all. There's nobody. I think there was that Patty Plumlee. People were thinking him. He talks funny. And, they're like, oh, he's going to be the next Conor McGregor. Then he gets his ass beat by Justin Gaethje and exposes the fact that he's just not there yet. He's not. So maybe you know a lot more about the UFC. Is there anybody special coming up? Because I'm not seeing it. You can tell if they're good if it goes to somebody that is a novice when it comes to that world, and if they can go, oh yeah, that guy. Anybody that knows sports and maybe even not that much sports knows who Conor McGregor is. That tells you that he's a special fighter. And it's not just about fighting, it's about personality. And there's nobody else around here in that world that is doing that. So the UFC desperately needs to replace Conor McGregor. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I do know this. What's going to happen right now is the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Greg. He says, much respect, but that's not a good thing. What's he talking about? Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid has revealed that while filming his iconic Banduruski commercial with Patrick Mahomes, he refused to use a spit bucket until guess when? Guess what number cheeseburger it was? No. Not until he reached burger number 60.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. That's nasty.
Yeah, that's not good. Andy, I know you're a Kansas City Chiefs head coach, and I shouldn't like you, right? But it's hard not to respect you. But somebody's got to tell him, be like, no, you got to spit that shit out. Maybe grab his face like a little kid that eats too much food, and you're like, hold on, we got to do a throat sweep. Something like that. That's not good, Andy. Not something you should brag about. It's impressive. Holy cow. I don't care if he just only ate like one bite per burger. You can't, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's disgusting. I'm surprised he hasn't done Ozempic. There's so many people that do Ozempic now, and it's, what is that? Appetite suppressant, and then it also does other shit to you. I mean, he'd have to have that surgery where he has that excess skin because he's been large for so long. But listen, I mean, if that's his thing, that's his thing. But that's just a bad example, Andy. Come on. Especially like it's weird to me when somebody is at a position of power like that athletically. So he's in charge of these athletes, telling them that they need to take care of themselves, and then he's like that. But hey, whatever they're doing there, with the exception of this last season, it's working. But Andy, come on, man, have some pride with your body. That's gross. That's disgusting. All right, guys, that's it for sports. Thanks so much for listening and watching or whatever you're doing. Thanks for supporting the show. Really do appreciate it. Have an amazing day. Let's go ahead. Let's keep moving forward. I'll talk to you next time.